Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the MundaneChats channel, and you know, when you talk about real-life people, and whether it's a book, a TV show, a movie, or even a YouTube channel, you can sometimes face the backlash from that person or relatives of that person or friends of that person who didn't like how you portrayed things. Trust me, as a person who covers current events in the news, I get emails quite often from people who I've talked about, sometimes threatening legal action if I don't take down my video. Even when the person's a victim, and even when I'm basically like, yeah, no, you were totally screwed over, bro. I don't get it. No, that's not even the point of this thing. But here's what we know. Pablo Escobar's brother is suing Netflix for a cool $1 billion, saying if we don't receive it, we will close their little show. And if Pablo Escobar's brother is coming after you, you might wanna consider running for the hills. Probably not though, because it's Netflix and they probably don't care. Saying here that Pablo Escobar's 71-year-old brother, Roberto de Jesus Escobar Gaviria, I'm probably mispronouncing that last name, I apologize. Please don't try to come after me, sir, has sued Netflix for $1 billion over a copyright claim against Narcos. That would be one of Netflix's more popular shows, I believe currently in season 3. The lawsuit was filed last year by Escobar Incorporated, a company owned by Gaviria, however you say it, and took issue with Netflix's use of Pablo Escobar's name and story without permission. Speaking with the Hollywood Reporter from his home in Colombia, he was frank about his dislike for the concept of the Netflix show. And again, like I said, when you talk about these things, when you adapt to these certain things, there's probably going to be somebody out there who is none too pleased with what you have to say. He says here, I don't want Netflix or any other film production company to film any movies in Medellin or Colombia that relates to me or my brother Pablo without authorization from Escobar Incorporated. It's very dangerous, especially without our blessing. This is my country. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to go to freaking Colombia and shoot a movie about, about Pablo Escobar and criminal cartel drug trade stuff, you're probably going to have to sit there and grease the wheels a little bit. You know, whenever Hollywood shoots a movie about Iran or Iraq or whatever, or Syria or wherever the hell it is they want to go, they always go and they shoot in like Jordan or Egypt or one of those countries over there that, is more friendly to these American production companies. Like, take, for example, the movie Three Kings, George Clooney from, I think, 1999. It was set in Iraq. They shot it in basically Borrego Springs, or no, the deserts of Southern California. And you could tell that it was nowhere near what it looked like in Iraq and anything else. But again, these things, Hollywood, it's movies. They're gonna do whatever. He goes on to say here, Netflix are scared. They sent us a long letter to threaten us right now. We are in discussions to obtain our $1 billion payment. You have to love the kind of the gravitas right there, the buzz, the cojones on this guy, because he's like, they're very scared. I want to say that though, like how Trump would say that, because they're around the same age, and it kind of comes across like Trump. They're very scared. I can't do a Trump at all, and I'm not insulting the president, so don't freak out. I'm merely pointing out like the way he's speaking kind of sounds like it might be like something Trump would say, or how he phonetically how he would say it. So he says, if we don't receive it, we will close their little show. Now, I'd love to know more about how he plans on doing this, right? If you're going to make a threat, you gotta sit there and be like, give a bit more specifics there. Like, we'll close your little show. How? Will you systematically destroy all subscriptions to Netflix in Colombia? Like, good luck with that one, bro. But I understand they want to protect their name. They want to protect their image, protect their empire, so to speak. I completely get that. The long letter he's referring to was written by lawyers for Narcos Productions, LLC, the company behind the Netflix series and the popular video game spin-off Narcos Cartel Wars. The letter claims that Gaviria attempted to register trademarks in August 2016 for Narcos and Cartel Wars for a range of goods and services. I don't quite know where Cartel Wars would be in terms of goods and or services, so I find that to be a bit suspect. The lawyers contend that this attempt was fraudulent, and I would probably have to argue that it is. For example, the lawyer wrote, Escobar Inc. claims it had used Narcos in connection with things like operating a website and game services provided online from a computer network since January 31st, 1986. However, the internet had not been developed for widespread consumer use in 1986, nor was the capability to provide audiovisual works nor game services available at the time. And they got a point there. If I recall correctly, it wasn't until the late 80s when BBS services became a thing. Although MUD games might have some say in that. If they were making a Cartel Wars MUD game like Usurper or something, then that could be maybe argued. But again, I'm merely suggesting, I don't think that exists. All right, much like, the Unicorn, a MUD version of Cartel Wars did not exist in 1986. However, Gaviria doesn't sound too bothered. He says here, I don't play around with these people in Silicon Valley. They have their phones and nice products, but they don't know life and would never dare to survive in the jungle of Medellin or Colombia. I have done that. It's kind of a weird statement to make, though, right? It's like they don't know anything. They don't know anything. They couldn't survive down here. Well, why would they go down there? They're in Silicon Valley. You're in Colombia. It's a world apart. Now, he also commented on the recent death of a Netflix location scout in Mexico, saying Netflix should have provided hitmen to their people as security. That I do not disagree with, actually. It's like Rockstar Games working on Max Payne 3. They went down to I think it was not Rio, but somewhere in Brazil. And they went to the favelas and they actually paid local gang members to leave them alone. And I think paid a couple of local gang members for tour guides to give them an idea, a look as to what it was like living in that area of Brazil and how crime infested it was, how poor it was, how almost basically was a third world country in those sections, and how parts of Brazil are like that and how violent they can be. So yeah, and they were able to pay these people off in order to go and get these particular locations and get the feel and get the vibe for shooting a show like Narcos or whatever, and then having the location scout get taken out. Yeah. In those areas, you probably need a lot more security. It's or you could always just be like David O. Russell and then just shoot in the eastern Southern California deserts. Go with what you can, man. But anyway, finishes up here by saying, when Pablo Escobar was at the height of his control of the Medellin cartel, Gaviria worked as the most important accountant and head of the hitmen. Despite this past and threatening language towards Netflix, he spoke with Vice in 2014 and claimed the cartel life was all behind him, insisting, I do good now. An example of such good, he explained, was how he gained valuable medical knowledge while caring for expensive horses and used that knowledge to find a cure for HIV. So I think we can take what this dude is saying and essentially just kind of chuck it in the junk pile. He's like, I want $1 billion from Netflix, a company that for all intents and purposes pulls in roughly $5 to $10 billion a month roughly in earnings. Never mind the fact they spend $7 billion a year on original content. They're kind of raking in it, and this dude's probably thinking to himself, hey man, listen, my brother was a badass drug cartel. I was his accountant. I cured AIDS. I want my $1 billion. But I'm not going to tell you the cure for AIDS, but I will go after Netflix. So I'm pretty sure nothing's going to happen besides, the worst that's going to probably happen here. And I mean the legitimate worst thing that's going to happen would be this dude gets pissed. And if he was the head of the hitman, that probably means he's got some connections. So he'll just send a Colombian death squad all the way up to Mexico, find the location of Narcos, and then lay it all to waste. I don't want that. I'm merely making a speculative joke about that. But if something along those lines happens, I called it. And then can I get $1 billion? Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. I don't want that on my head. It was, again, horrible joke, but you guys get my intent. It's kind of like, what's he going to do? He doesn't get his $1 billion. Netflix is just going to laugh at his ass, basically, and then he the only retaliation would be through violence in another country. So I guess now we just have to really wait and see.
Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.